You're definitely going to want to save this episode for later because today I have 9 no prep art activities for your homeschool. We all have those days where we realize it would be the perfect opportunity to bring in some creativity. Your kids are just in the mood to do art, or it feels like you haven't done anything creative in a while, and you would really love to explore some art and art history and creativity in your school plan that day. But if you don't have a plan, it can feel overwhelming to try to figure out what to do, to research it and prep the activity and get it all ready. And by then you're exhausted or the day is almost over and it feels like it's too late to even get started. Well, today I have 9 ideas that you can just hop into on the spur of the moment and bring that wonderful creativity into your plan spontaneously. Number 1, drop everything and head to the art museum. Now, hear me out. I know this might sound like even more overwhelming than planning an art activity to do at home, but if you approach your art museum trip in a specific way, it can feel really light and easy and fun. And the way I'm talking about doing this is just you head to the museum, you go in, hopefully you have a membership where you don't have to pay for a short amount of time because this is going to be a quick trip. Or if you happen to be able to coordinate this on free day, that's an extra bonus, but that takes a little planning and this is a no prep art activity. But you could hop into your art museum, just look at one painting with your kids. Look at that painting, talk about it, or a sculpture, anything, whatever they're drawn to. Look at one work of art that day and don't read the plaque until you have explored a really great conversation about the art, and then learn a little bit more. Check out the gift shop to see if there's a postcard of that work that you could bring home as a reminder and a souvenir. And that's it. That's a really wonderful, meaningful, no prep way to just hop over to a museum. Depending on how far away it is, this might even just take a half an hour with driving, talking, having fun, coming home, maybe an hour, but this could really reset the rest of your day too. After being energized by being out and seeing art, it could turn the whole mood of your homeschool day around. If the day started off kind of on a weird note or just everybody seemed unhappy with the things they were supposed to do, maybe this could be a little reset and you can come home and have an afternoon where there's more willingness, there's more activities that they are excited to do because they had this fun, spontaneous start to their day. Idea number 2, go to the internet and go to Google Arts and Culture. This is such a fantastic website. What I love most about this website is that you can search a work of art and they don't have everything in their database, but they have a lot. And what they do have, many times you can zoom in on it way more close up and see all of those details, the cracks in the paint, all of the brush strokes, the things that you would normally not be able to see unless you were looking at art in person. You can see it on this website because they have this really high resolution image that you can zoom in on and look up close. So if you just choose one work of art to hop in and zoom in on it and talk about it just like you would with the idea about going to the art museum, but this is kind of the version for at home. Talk about that work of art and then learn a little bit about it. There's usually a small paragraph that shares some insights, maybe a little bit about the artist, and that's it. That's a really fun, meaningful art exploration that required zero prep. All you need is an internet connection. Idea number 3. Do your kids make a lot of art, and do you have it kind of piling up and becoming this massive heap of art projects with nowhere to go? You could make an art museum or art gallery wall in your house, and this would take very little prep, if any. If you wanted to do a strictly no prep way to do this, you could just take tape or whatever you feel comfortable putting on your walls and stick the art up on a wall. This could be a rotating exhibit where you put their newest work up and take older work down as they go, or it could be their most favorite pieces that are there to stay. But either way, this is a fun, spontaneous way to kind of show your kids that the art that they're making really matters and that it deserves a place of prominence in your home. Now, if you wanted to take this a step further and do a tiny bit of prep, you could get blue tack, which I love. You can use this as a kind of a putty that you can stick on the back of art that is not too heavy. This would work for paper, probably not for canvas board. But if you just have paper art, you can stick it on your wall. You can easily move things around, or you could even install like a clothesline or some kind of a magnet situation, whatever works for your house. A gallery wall is a really, really fun project to do, and it is useful month after month after month as your kids continue to create more art. Or what about this? Idea number 4. Go to your pantry and take a look inside, pull out a box or a can of something, and do an Andy Warhol inspired art project. So, of course, we all know about the Campbell's soup cans and the Brillo pad boxes. And Andy Warhol was famous for saying that he liked boring things, and boring things don't have to be boring. They can be really interesting depending on how we look at them. Maybe you do a very small exploration of Andy Warhol, just search him on the internet, get a very brief overview of him if your kids are completely new to him as an artist. But once they see his iconic, bold imagery and those bright, amazing colors, they are going to be excited to take something boring from the pantry and transform it into their own Andy Warhol inspired work of art. Or for a sculpture idea, you could do a Picasso inspired found art sculpture. So what this would be is, do you have a box of kind of old buttons and strings and cool bottle caps and scraps of paper? A lot of homeschoolers tend to keep those kind of fun things around, even if you don't know what you'll end up doing with them. Well, this is idea number 5. Take some of those weird random things and assemble them into a found art sculpture. Picasso did this, and there's a blog on the Art History Kids website all about Picasso found art sculptures. It was one that I wrote in honor of Earth Day, because this is a great way to reuse things around the house instead of throwing them away. And you can take these kind of random bits of things that really have no use otherwise, turn them into an amazing work of art, and learn a little bit about Picasso in the process. To find that blog, just go to arthistorykids.com, and on the sidebar next to the blog section, you can search Picasso and find that blog post. Maybe your kids are in the mood for some abstract art. In that case, this next idea will be really, really fun, and you can use a variety of art supplies to make it work. So idea number 6 is all about Alma Thomas, the amazing abstract expressionist artist, and she is so much fun to explore. She's actually one of the featured artists in the African American Art History course that we offer. You can find that on the website as well. Just click the Workshops tab at the top of the website. But her art is amazing, and she was inspired by the NASA space program and science and all of these cool things. But the art that she made was really abstract, really vibrant, really colorful, and so approachable for kids, because sometimes when we look at artists like Da Vinci and Rembrandt and these artists who could make things look really realistic, it's overwhelming if we don't have those skills ourselves. But abstract art gives our kids an opportunity to be inspired by an artist and create art in their style that isn't too far off from the way that the original artist's art looks. So I'm not talking about having your kids copy her art, but just taking inspiration. She had this really cool style. You'll see it. It looks like a mosaic. And if you just look at a couple works of her art, get out some pastels, oil pastels or chalk pastels, or even markers, or colored pencils would probably work if they wanted to do something really small, or paints if they wanted to do something really large. That would be so much fun. You can use whatever materials that you have and explore an Alma Thomas inspired art project. Idea number 7, a Frida Kahlo inspired self-portrait that your kids can do with them, including their pet. So Frida Kahlo had all of these amazing exotic pets, and she often painted herself with them. And so your kids, if they have a pet, or if they don't have a pet, maybe they can paint themselves with an imaginary pet or the pet of a relative who is special to them. But they can take this opportunity to just get a mirror and look at themselves and paint what they see as a self-portrait, including a pet. This is a really fun exercise for kids because not only do they get to be a little bit introspective and think about what they want to show about themselves in their art, but they get to have a really sweet companion with them who they love probably very much and include them in their art as well. So a Frida Kahlo inspired self-portrait with a pet is a really fun, no prep activity. Idea number 8 is an app. There's an app called Daily Art, and I love it. Every single day you get to see a new work of art, and there's a little bit about that art to give you some behind the scenes, some insights, tell you a little bit about the artist. Now I will say that this is one you're going to want to preview before, depending on what kinds of art you want your kids to see, but I think 95% of the art is G-rated, so it is appropriate for everyone, and it's really inspiring, and it's a fun, quick way to just bring a tiny moment of art into your day consistently. So you can look at the art and talk about it and learn a little bit and then move on with your day. No prep needed beyond downloading the app. Idea number 9 is the starter kit that I've designed. You can find it at arthistorykids.com/starter kit, no spaces, all one word. And this will give you a lot of ideas for how to bring even more no prep art activities into your day. For one thing, there's a whole lesson plan laid out for you, so you can use that to start an exploration of some really cool art and an artist who's really fun to learn about. Dive into that. That could take you a week or 2 weeks or however long you would like to. It's a really robust lesson, so it's not just a quick 5-minute thing. So that's one really fun thing to dive into. But the starter kit also includes ideas for books that might be fun, for art supplies, for all different things to help you get your homeschool set up to be really creative. So you can get that starter kit on the website, arthistorykids.com/starter kit, and dive into that art exploration at any time. You can just do as much as you want to that day. Pause, pick it up later when you have more time, but the prep and planning is done for you, and you can just dive in and start enjoying the fun part, which is exploring art with your kids, seeing them being lit up with creativity and seeing that amazing ripple effect that when you bring art in, the benefits go way beyond art time. You can see that your kids become really great observers. They become more confident in sharing their ideas verbally. They become more decisive. They have all of these great benefits that help them in all their other subjects, not just art. So I hope that you will take one of these ideas. You don't have to use them all. Just pick the one that you think would be the most fun for now. You can always come back to this later and get going with some fun art explorations today. Don't wait until it's all perfect and planned. You don't need to do that. You have 9 amazing no prep ideas to get started right now. So let me know, tag me on Instagram at arthistorykids. Let me know which one you're into today and which one you plan to do next. And I can't wait to see all of the art your kids are creating. And I will be back soon with another episode. Until then, stay inspired.